Welcome back to the Whatnauts Reactor Core number 103. We have our reactions to The Last of Us number 5. My name is Kyle Springer. I am joined by Ignacio Rojas. Ignacio, what's up with you?
Hello. Not much. Same as every week. I'm on vacation.
Enjoying
so
the weekend?
yeah, during the weekend, enjoying vacation.
Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I woke up this morning and started playing some video games and stuff like that, and I've just been taking it easy. It's been a good day so far. But yeah, we are here on the weekends. We're here a little bit earlier than normal for our reaction to The Last of Us. These have been coming out on, or we've been recording these on Monday, the day after the TV show comes out. But because it's Super Bowl Sunday here in the United States, they were like, let's put the episode out early. So they released number 5 on a Friday night, and we are recording this on Saturday. Ignacio, let's dive right in because I feel like this one is kind of a continuation of what we saw last episode. We kind of said that was going to be the calm before the storm. Is this in fact the storm? What do you think?
Yeah, it is the storm. It is the conclusion of what was started on the previous episode. And it was a good one. It was a very good one, especially the end. The end of the episode, even though as people who have played the game, you know what's gonna happen. But even then, seeing it on the show, it really shocked me. And yeah, again, it was pretty good, but having said that, I am feeling like the format of the show and how it is ultimately going to be 9 episodes, I feel like it is kind of rushing through some things. Because, for example, we were talking yesterday about how important these adversarial, let's call them characters.
Sure, yeah.
The opposing force for the main characters, how big they could be, and you were even speculating as to how they could be recurring characters. And I feel like knowing that everything had to be wrapped up in a single episode, it kind of feels like it rushes things. Even though overall, again with the 9 episodes total, it is kind of going slow. So I don't know. How do you feel, Kyle?
Yeah, I really liked this one. I think it was a solid episode. God, it was violent and brutal. It just like when the clickers erupt out of the like sinkhole, man, just like holy shit to see how fast they're moving. They're climbing on top of each other and stuff. That was wild. And then yeah, we get this like long it's not a one-shot sequence, but this long extended sequence of the chaos that is happening in that scene there. And that scene is kind of a mix of a few different things that happened in The Last of Us. But yeah, man, to be honest, for a moment, I just had a big smile on my face because I was like, oh, this is what I remember from the game. This is so cool. But yeah, I think I'm on the same side as you. I think especially a lot more than I was last week. With just, I don't know, 9 episodes. And then especially what they showed us in the next time on The Last of Us at the end of the credits was just like, oh, we're already there. Like it looks like next week we'll be in Wyoming.
Well, it does go on the game. It does go. You end this section and you go then immediately to Wyoming, to where Tommy is. That is how the game progresses. But the thing is,
him though, I felt like
yeah,
that wasn't.
You meet
Wyoming.
him right after. Well, I don't know where it was exactly, but you meet him right after dealing with Sam and Henry. That's
Yeah.
the next thing that goes. But judging from the preview for the next episode, it feels like one of the big ways the game shows you the passage of time is showing you that the changing of seasons.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so all that we've seen in this previous episode so far is supposed to be summer in the game. But then this is the point where it changes season for the first time in the game and it goes to fall. But judging from the preview, it is gonna be winter.
Yeah.
So there even though Tommy goes directly after what we've seen here before, and that's how it should be progressing, they are skipping a season, which is making me think that they are gonna be skipping things
Yeah.
for.
And I think that's one of the things we're potentially losing in this adaptation of this story is that all of the just kind of mundane time you spend with Joel and Ellie. Like, you don't necessarily need to show every little combat encounter every single time she's like, I can't swim, put me on the thing so you can row me up. Like, you don't need to do all of that. But there also is value in those moments, and I think that is partly what made me so strongly attached to those characters. It is the small banter between them. It is the time when she's trying to learn how to whistle. Maybe we'll get something like that. But there's stuff like that where she's just like, and he's just like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, I'm trying to whistle.
Yeah.
Like, we've gotten some of those moments, but I'm wondering if those moments are going to be enough. Especially with like how fast things seems to be moving, because in the game, that scene where they fall into that trap of that one dude who's like, oh, I'm hurt. That happens like just outside of Pittsburgh, though in this adaptation, that's happening in Kansas City, which is in the Midwest.
They changed the city that's supposed to be taken over. It is still the whole I'm hurt.
But
how do you know he was making?
That's my point.
That's in the same. That's the same part.
Right. No, I'm not saying that that's a different part. I'm saying that time, like, things are moving faster, that they're like, okay, we started out on the East Coast. We're already in the Midwest, and next time we're already gonna be all the way out.
So you're saying they are literally moving too fast?
Kind of, yeah. Which is why I'm on the same side as you. I'm just like, 9 episodes? I don't know. We're skipping a lot here.
Yeah. So far, they haven't skipped any major plot point. If anything, they just truncated stuff. Like, for example, I wasn't expecting that we were gonna get the whole underground. What do you call that? Preschool.
The
something like
community that was underground.
Yeah, that community. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that we were gonna get that, because in the game you get it. They escape the city, and then while they're going through the sewers, they encounter that place. Whereas here, they just truncated it as we're going through it to escape the city. But so far, they have hit every major point from the game. But again, it is still, in the game's time, it is still the first of 4 seasons. And now we have less than halfway through the show to go. It is the first season break, because we know now that they are going to winter next. And I wonder if they are going to start cutting things, because you get Tommy's whole thing, the whole thing with Tommy, you get that in fall, you get that they find the college campus that we're going to find the Fireflies, that fails and all that, and then Joe seemingly dies. And then it is winter, and winter is Ellie dealing with Joel being on her own, and then finding this community of cannibals. And then the next one is okay, now we're getting to where the Fireflies are, and you get the whole dealing with Joel and the hospital. And I wonder if they can do. I just named you at least 4 major points. They will have to hit all 4 in the next 4 episodes. And that feels a
Plus
bit too rushed.
Ellie's backstory.
That too.
So
That's also, we know that is
I'm
in the
wondering
showcase.
if they're gonna cut out the college campus, and just be like, hey, we don't need to go to the campus. We'll go straight to the one site in the Pacific Northwest
Yeah, but
there.
in that case, do you get the whole cannibal community?
I mean, there could be a thing where, yeah, along the way or just outside of Wyoming, yeah, there Joel somehow
Do you
gets
have?
hurt, and
Yeah, do you
Ellie
get
has to do
Ellie on
things
her
on
own?
her own. Yeah.
I wonder, but that's, I think, too much for 4 episodes. And before even the preview, we knew that they weren't going to be able to hit everything in the upcoming episodes. And I was wondering, oh, they could maybe cut The Last of Us Part 1 in 2 parts. Maybe that was their plan overall. And I thought that a good cut for the story would be, we get to the college campus, everything
Joel
fails,
getting hurt. Yeah.
Joel getting hurt, and that's the cut of the season. And I thought that could very well be a good natural cut and a more or less a halfway point of the story of the game. But now that they're jumping to winter, and the way that they've been speeding through or condensing all these plot points, I wonder if even that would fit into it.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a few more episodes left. They could do the thing where they are longer. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we shall see. I have to say, though, I am kind of sad that Kathleen and Perry bit the dust. I did kind of want them to stay around. Had a feeling that they wouldn't. But yeah, it was just like, oh, it'd be fun to see them chase them further down the road or somehow meet up again and just be like, oh shit, it's you. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed in that. But how did you feel about let's do you want to do the bloater next, or do you want to talk about Ham and Henry? Sam and Henry. Which would you prefer to talk about next?
No, let's do the Sam and Henry.
Sure. So I think last week I mentioned I thought their familial relationship changed. Now I'm not so sure if that's true. No, I don't remember.
No, they straight up say he's my brother.
Right, but I think last week I was saying I think in the game they were father and son.
No, they are brothers.
Right.
No,
which is what I'm saying is that last week I was mistaken.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You were mistaken.
Yes.
They are still in fact. They are still in fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do, however, like the change of Sam being deaf and them having to rely on one another that much more. I think that's a really neat thing. I know The Walking Dead in its last few seasons had some characters that were deaf, and they did some really neat things with them in that show. So I'm kind of excited to see more representation along those lines. They've done some neat things with that. But yeah, man, their story is still just brutal. It's heartbreaking, and I think, yeah, to see this in live action versus the game, I think is that much more just like that was hard to watch. That was a lot. What did you think?
Oh, same. I like their portrayal on the show. The added element of Sam being deaf, of course, adds to the whole tension of he can't even hear them coming, so he is way more at risk. I like that. I also like that they gave kind of like a backstory as to why this woman is so fixated on Henry and what it means to him, and something that I didn't like a lot is them hammering the idea of making a choice for your kid. It's starting to be a little bit on the nose,
Yeah.
but you get a little bit of that with Henry having to make the choice, and as he says, the only time that he has healed someone was to get the medicine for Sam, and I like that inclusion of that. Shit, where
Yeah, I mean,
I was going
I think
somewhere.
it is especially how we've been kind of commenting on how certain things have gotten truncated and shortened. They
Yeah,
might be skipping a few things. It, where the game had time to kind of explore those themes a lot slower. The show doesn't necessarily have that luxury, so they do kind of need these parallels to kind of make that point and have Joel start thinking about these things here, right? Like last week, we were finally talking about, hey, they had a bonding moment, right? And now here's Joel thinking about just his future and like what am I going to do down the road here? And I think, like, I mean, the story of The Last of Us has always been, how far will you go for the ones you love? Um, what does that mean? What will you do? How will you react? And so I think, we see that in Kathleen. Her brother got killed, and she is just on this warpath, right? To find Henry and get revenge. And for Henry, like, he has his younger brother Sam, who's sick and has leukemia. He's like, I will do whatever it takes to get him the medicine, to have him be able to survive. So I think that stuff is just starting to sink in with Joel. Like, he knew he was on this mission to save Ellie, but I don't think it's really hit him of like what this means exactly, and how attached he is to all of this. So
yeah. But
who
again,
knows? Who knows?
again, to the detriment of the show, the fact that they have to truncate everything into one episode, I feel like it kind of like takes away some natural development to the relationship you as the viewer, or you as Joel, get with Henry and Sam. I think that
Mhm.
that is a little bit speed through. And one of the things that I felt was missing from the game was the relationship between Ellie and Sam, because in the game they are mostly in the same age.
Yeah.
And they are playing together. You get it as two kids finally finding someone in the same age in this post-apocalyptic world, whereas in the show, Sam is younger, considerably younger than Ellie, and it changes that, and it turns more into Ellie being the older kid. Feels like she is way more of, I don't know how to put it, not talking down to the kid, but treating him more kidly, if it makes
Kid like,
sense.
yeah. I mean, yeah, they were closer in age in the game. I didn't mind the age difference here. That's not even something I really thought about, because Ellie, like, I didn't feel like she was talking down to him or treating him with kid gloves. Especially since she hasn't really had that childhood either. Like, she sees that he's reading comics. She's like, holy shit, I love these too. I have these ones, right? They're playing soccer. like they're staying up late past their bedtime and stuff like that. Like it feels like a moment where she too is also able to be a kid and doesn't have to think about the zombies. But then immediately when they start having that more serious conversation and he reveals that, hey, I got bit, she switches modes. And I think she almost has this not a parental relationship, but this like responsibility, right? Like, hey, I'm immune. There's something in my blood that can save people, and that's something that we didn't get in the game. Like we didn't get this scene of her slicing open
Yeah,
her
that was never
hand
a
to
thing.
rub that in there. Like I liked that bit. I thought that was fantastic. Because that I think really shows how much she has thought about her position in this world and her role of it's like, hey, I have something that can help. I have something that can save people like Sam. Um, and then yeah, we'll see what happens down the road.
Yep.
So there you go. Do you have anything else? Oh, the bloater. What did you think about the bloater? Big boy.
Again, once again, coming back to this whole thing feeling very truncated. That even that scene felt a bit too rushed. The bloater was just there as another zombie. Didn't really add that much to. You already had the horde of zombies, so it was already out of control. I don't think that the bloater added anything to it. And then that goes into the resolution of this. I don't remember her name, the leader of the rebellion.
Kathleen.
How Kathleen, how her whole thing. It feel like they cut it short. She just died. Oh, there are zombies now, and shit's going down. And
That's why I was
her
disappointed. I was like, she's a great character.
her right hand man just dies in the background with the bloater killing him. Yeah, ripping his face, and then she dies soon after from the creepy as hell kid clicker.
That was awful.
But yeah, it feels like they did it way too fast. It wasn't a good resolution for those characters.
Yeah, I liked the appearance of the bloater. I thought, I mean that is kind of the thing that The Last of Us or zombie fiction in general is having to deal with now. We've seen so much of it. 11 seasons of The Walking Dead, 7 of Fear of the Walking Dead. They have multiple spin-off shows. They're still doing all of that. There's so much more out there besides The Walking Dead too that I think people are trying to figure out, like, how do we get that one up, right? And so a horde of zombies we've already seen. Fast moving zombies we've already seen. A horde of fast moving zombies we've already seen. But this like big giant guy that's even stronger, like that is more video game like that. Like this is the most video game ass moment we've gotten in this, right? It really feels like a boss fight. Like you can imagine that encounter as like zombies are running around on the outskirts. You hear people screaming and all that stuff and gunshots, and you are right there in the cul-de-sac with the bloater. I liked the inclusion. It did also feel very short.
It also didn't
like
do
we
anything
got enough
special.
Yeah,
it was just there.
Agree with that, and he felt rubbery. like that was. It felt like it was CGI, but it like I feel like the bloaters from the game were almost better. In that sense, but Yeah,
Also,
I hope we get a much more close encounter with them down the road, and they will have to deal with one and kill it. But
yeah.
again, that's just one more thing on top of, like, they have so much left to tell in this story, right?
Mhm.
That is just like, I don't. Who knows what they'll do here? So
When it first pops up, it kind of feels like it is a way bigger creature towering over even the zombies. But
it
then
almost feels like
the
it's not human, right? I mean,
yeah, but then the next shot they get a shot with the bloater surrounded by zombies, and it just feels like it looks like a big guy.
yeah,
That was kind of very weird how the first shot made it look way bigger than the other zombies, and then the next shot it was just another guy that's bigger or uh, bigger to the sides. My whole problem with that is that it didn't add to anything.
yeah,
This scene would have played out the same
just the
way
same
with or
without it.
without it. It didn't do much.
I
It's
agree.
not
Yeah,
like with the game where when you get the introduction of the bloater, it is not only a tougher enemy to take down, you get the added element of it throwing the spores at you. It
which they
does,
don't have in this.
yeah, it does show a range on what you're doing, the encounter when you're having with the zombies. But then here, it felt like it added nothing to it.
Yeah,
That was
I
my big
agree.
disappointment
I
with it.
agree. Well, let's see. We got 4 episodes left. So not much left in the rest of the season. I think that's about it for our reaction to episode 5 of The Last of Us. Ignacio, where can the people find you on the internet?
The people can find me on Twitter at Ignacio Rojas B. That's IGNACIOROJASB.
There you go. You guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer, and you guys can stay up to date with all of the stuff that we do here at the Whatnauts at the Whatnauts. Yeah, so please go like, share, and subscribe. You guys know the deal with all of that stuff. If you are watching this on YouTube, go check out some more of our videos right over that way. We recently reacted to the Fast 10 trailer. So that was an exciting one. But this has been number 103 of the Reactor Core. We will see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.